All Muslims are not extremists. All Muslims are not trying to take over Canada. There are some people who are Muslim who are trying to do that, but not all Muslims. The majority, no. Will you denounce the minority of Muslims who believe in that?
I completely denounce anyone. I would not call them Muslims because they don't represent Islam. They're not Muslims. Anyone?
No true Scotsman. Hey, I'm Jay Fayza for Liberal.media. Right now I'm in Queen's Park, the legislative office here in Toronto. And right behind me is a pro-Palestine event. You see a bunch of Palestinian flags. You see little kids waving it around. You see the women in the back. They're waving around Palestinian flags and signs. God bless them. They're allowed to do what they want. They have the liberty to protest all they want. But my question is, why the hell are they protesting this? Here at Queen's Park, here at the legislative office in Toronto. This is a Middle Eastern issue. This is Canada. And they're protesting a Middle Eastern issue here in Canada. So let's go talk to them and see what they have to say. All right, so why are you here and what do you represent?
So we're here to represent the oppressed people of Palestine and what's been going on for past 70 years by the illegal state of Israel.
Are you guys from any media group?
We're from Rebel Media.
Okay, so you gotta wait. Our spokesperson will be here and we'll talk to you.
So why are you here? What do you represent and all that?
Well, what we represent are viewpoints that are directly opposite to yours and your organization. What we represent here are we are protesting against the Israeli war crimes. We are saying that everyone has a right to live peacefully, standing up against Islamophobia, standing up against organizations like yours that are responsible for spreading hate against Muslims.
So you think we are responsible for spreading hate? You think we hate Muslims? We're racist, white supremacists?
Well, if I look at your work, what you do is you take interviews from people and you try to twist it. And what you try to do is then position Muslims as extremists and radicalized people who hate Canada and who would like to get Sharia law in Canada. Yeah. So this is fear mongering, and shame on you for doing that, because you're inciting violence, you're inciting...
I'm not going to twist what you're saying, but I don't represent hate. I don't represent white supremacy. I've done videos against white nationalism and that kind of stuff.
Because the soldiers of Odin here are today...
But I also disagree with a lot of tenets of Islam, and I criticize Islam.
Which is fair
just like I criticize Christianity. That's fair. Then we do that as a company.
As long as you're doing it in a fair and independent manner, and not actually encouraging people to hate Muslims, and that's what you've been doing. When I look at
encourage people to hate Muslims, trust me.
I've seen your reports, and I've seen your reports in particular. What you'll try to do is get someone to say something, and you will interview a lot of people, and then the one you'll put on your website are not people like myself who understand what you're trying to do.
All Muslims are not extremists. All Muslims are not trying to take over Canada. There are some people who are Muslim who are trying to do that, but not all Muslims. The majority, no.
Excellent. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Okay, but
I hope you put
will you denounce the minority of Muslims who believe in that?
I completely denounce anyone. I would not call them Muslims because they don't represent Islam. They're not Muslims. Anyone?
No true Scotsman.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we have people who may claim to be Muslims who are extremists and radicals. They are not Muslims. They don't represent Islam. They don't represent the 1.6 billion Muslims. And what happens is that they represent a hateful component that is there in every single religion, every single part, right? We are here for a peaceful protest, and we strongly denounce any sort of, anybody who's claiming to have any violence done in the name of Islam.
I mean, so at what point would you say that these are Muslims with bad ideas or just not true Muslims?
Just like, for example,
for example, 1 out of 5 Indonesians are okay with honor killing. I mean, 1 out of 5 is a pretty big number. That's 20% of people. Like, how could you say 20% of people in Indonesia who identify as Muslims aren't real Muslims?
There's a lot of violence that has been committed in the name of the Christian faith more than any other faith. There's violence being committed today by the state of Israel in the name of Judaic faith. Why do you have to pick up on Islam? We condemn all of these people.
Because Islam has a high number of people who are that.
Absolutely not. This is the misconception. Islam is the victim of terrorism right now.
How many people in Jordan, for example, agree with Hamas, a terrorist organization? It's not. Hamas is not a terrorist organization.
The EU and the UN calls it not a terrorist organization.
They don't bomb. They don't kill people. In their manifesto, they say they want to kill all Jews.
It doesn't. That's a lie.
But 70% of people who are Jordanian agree with.
Do you know that 7.6 million Palestinians have been living in the refugee camps? We're actually here to protest the Israeli crime.
Okay, great.
That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing in Super. And we would like.
But you brought up that we're hateful, that we're white supremacists, that we hate Muslims.
You do.
But
What you do is
every
you are spreading fear. You know,
single
people-
video I've
okay,
done,
people-
every single video I've done is me just stating statistics
No, 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 you're
of
not- no, no,
statistics
very, very
upon
chosen.
Muslims who
I
believe
see
in
their
this.
effort of you.
1 out of 5
You are a
Indonesian
white
Muslims
supremacist
agree
organizer.
with
I'm sure
honor
of that.
killings. Is that racist? Is that racist to say that?
I'm
It's not
sorry.
racist.
We're here about
I
Palestine.
disagree
This
with
is
honor
the
killings.
occupation
I'll
right
tell you,
So do
that's
I,
wrong.
So does everyone else
Thank
here
you.
as well.
Thank you. You're
So that's what
part
I'm trying to
you're
say.
part of the majority, but there's a large minority of
Again,
people who agree with honor
Again, what I'm
killings.
trying to tell you
And
is
that you
the
can't just
focus
ignore
here-
that.
No, no. What
Hey,
you
hey,
should not be
if
ignoring-
25% of Christians
what you
believe
should
with
be-
honor killing,
what
I'd be
you
like,
should be
F
ignoring-
Christianity.
No, no,
Why the
no,
hell?
no, no.
Why the hell do they think that
What
way?
you should be focusing on 7.6 million people made refugees.
But you
Think
brought
about
up the
that.
whole Muslim Islam
because of
thing.
your work, because what you're trying to do is position Muslims like that. You know, it's people like you who encourage those people who ran with a van over the people in
Really?
Islam.
So
and people
because
like yourself.
so because I say that
no,
statistically
because you
speaking,
tried to-
Muslims agree with this,
No, 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 no.
I'm controlling the van. It's my fault.
What you
I'm the one who
tried to do is
radicalized these
incite
people.
violence
It's my
against
fault. I radicalize Muslims.
Of course,
I'm
yeah.
white supremacist. I'm what you heard it first. You heard it first, folks. I radicalize white supremacists. I'm a white supremacist. I'm just racist against Muslims.
Absolutely.
Racist against
Anyone
Muslims.
who goes to
An
your
idea.
website-
An
anyone who goes to
idea.
your website would know
A
that.
religion. How can you be racist against a
I don't know,
religion?
you shouldn't be. That's what I'm trying to say. Please
I'm not.
focus today.
I'm not.
Why don't you
Trust
ask
me,
people, why
I don't
don't you
think
go to
anyone
the
could be
other side and
racist.
ask them why is Israel allowed to have 7.6?
It's not racist,
No, no,
okay?
it's not about
Facts
racism.
and logic come before
See, what he's
feelings
trying
and
to do is create
emotion.
a video for him. Why don't you talk about these people who ran with a van over in England and they said they wanted to go over the Al-Quds, right? Yeah, against the Muslims. No, why don't you talk about those as well?
France, Paris, Cologne, Rotherham.
I know, look at
all the cases. All the cases.
Just because there's an attack done by a Westerner does not mean it's done in the name of Christianity.
No, but if it's an ISIS attack and ISIS claims to be responsible, that's Islam. That's Islam.
No, that's not Islam.
That's the no true Scotsman
Where was
fallacy.
ISIS 10 years ago?
If you pray to Allah, if you read the Quran, and you do terrorist attacks, you're a Muslim that does terrorist attacks. So I'm sorry.
Really?
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no,
There's no true Scotsman. There's no true Scotsman fallacy. I'm saying sorry because this might be new to you, but I get it. I get it.
It's shame on you for doing that.
Shame on me.
Yes, absolutely shame on you.
For telling you that
For
Islam
telling-
has bad
for inciting
elements.
violence against Muslims, shame
Islam
on you.
has bad elements.
Shame on you.
Do you disagree with Majid? Nuzari? Do you disagree with him?
What I
Majid?
told you was that
Is he bad?
every
For trying to
religion-
reform Muslims.
Every religion has that elements, and you are.
Yeah, but that's a false equivalency. If you like our journalism and you think protests like these, Middle Eastern protesters, people who support Hamas and Hezbollah, and you attack those who have dissenting opinions shouldn't be here, like and subscribe to Rebel.media.